So what's going on at the Super Bowl? Well, the primary sort of psyop in all these sports events is very simple. Like beyond the sort of death-centric symbolism that people start to take in on a repetitive basis and act out. Beyond that, even if you go back 30 years, there wasn't a lot of death-centric symbolism that was enveloping the Super Bowl, although it's there today. But if you go back, like, men have only been playing child sports for about 150 years. And it really serves the ruling group well when you have spectators to that. Because spectators is based on the word spectacle, which means to watch. I mean, that's why they used to call glasses spectacles. And this act of watching other people win or other people lose has been proven to activate your neurology in the exact same way. So a lot of people who were cheering for the, Kansas City Chiefs, they're very happy. They feel like they've won. Now that's extremely important to keep the slave class under control in a work environment or living environment where the average person will experience no wins or no satisfaction in that area their entire lives. Because this is a base, it's almost like a nutrient. Humans need to feel victory. So if you're going to send them to a government school system which teaches them absolutely nothing about victory or how to win, and that's done purposely, and when that person who's programmed like that starts to work meaningless and soulless jobs and, dulls to their pain with the sedative substances that the same group riddled throughout the slave camp, like coffee and alcohol, tobacco, this person is going to most likely have 0 wins in their life. Now, the people who manipulate our psychology know that that's extremely dangerous. The humans need the feeling of winning, even though they're not going to win in their real life. So and they don't have a lot of excitement. They don't have a lot of emotions on the upside because they're in this cycle of basically it's this depressive existence that starts in school and doesn't even end at your retirement. So you got people working 25, 30, 40 years in this cycle where they're going to experience no joy, no high emotion, no satisfaction, and nothing close to any sort of big win. Now, if you were to let that person live that life without these fake wins, fake up and downs, fake emotional satisfaction, you're not going to rule very long, because this is what humans need. And if you're going to enslave them and make them live out these soulless, meaningless existence, working, shoveling shit down at ABC Dirt Factory, it doesn't matter if it's his corporate job, you're a stockbroker, all these jobs are, they're meaningless. They're not what anybody was sent here to do. Like basically, let's take a stockbroker going around begging people for money, and they feed your money into the machine that's there to make you sick, overweight and depressed. Like your stockbroker will take your money, throw it into Pfizer, throw it into Moderna, throw it into BlackRock, throw it into Vanguard, and these companies weaponize your money against you so that you'll never break out of your slavery. So you're always down, you're always poisoned, you're always incapable, you're always rewarded for playing the victim. So if they don't have these faux, fabricated, and fake emotional roller coasters on the screen. And that's, the bread and circuses is what they call it. Everybody knows the bread and circuses. I mean, that phrase, the circuses are there to entertain the listless, soulless, and meaningless slave. And the bread, of course, is proven to cause brain damage, beer and alcohol. And you see, it's the same thing today. They're going to have, the pizza, which has a bread base. They're going to have the circuses on the TV, and they're going to say, yeah, you won, feel it. And everybody getting up and high-fiving and cheering each other and hugging. And that's reserved for when you really have a big victory in your own life. And people will get the same emotional charge off the circus, off the Super Bowl and the Stanley Cup at the NBA Finals. And when one sport ends, another one begins, so you can keep up the fabricated fake emotions every day of the year. And if you dare take that away, the slaves will rebel. So the more slavery you put them under, the more of these fake events you have to sort of manufacture or organize in order that they don't wake up, that they don't figure things out, that they don't rebel. And then, of course, there's nothing less manly than, you see grown men. I see grown men wearing jerseys of other grown men and saying, he's my hero. That's mentally defective all on its own. If you're a man and you basically admire another man, instead of, I don't mind that sort of hero worship. If you're actually getting up and trying to mimic that stronger man every day, but most people wearing these jerseys don't do anything to make themselves better men. They're not trying to really mimic that better man. They're just trying to actually hijack his energy by wearing his jersey, which is what's called a spiritual bypass. Like you're getting the energy from somewhere that's not rightfully yours. So these things all add up to disempowerment, increased slavery, and then the pizza, the beer. The person wakes up fatter the next day, more dumbed down, more stupid, and then they're right back to that shit job they hate, shoveling shit down at ABC Dirt Factory. So next time one of these big games are on, watch all the fake emotions of victory pumped into the slave class and know that's why these things exist. Because if you're going to take away the victory in a real person's life, you got to pump in some fake shit or they'll figure it out. This is Jason Christoff. Thanks for listening.